All right, we're going to go ahead and get started on our program for tonight. So welcome to Canva greeting cards. My name is Megan. I'm a library services representative with the Plano Public Library, and I will be co-presenting this program tonight with my colleague Meg, if you want to say hi.
Hi, everyone. I am also a library services representative.
And then moderating our chat and doing tech support tonight will be Sahar, if you want to say hi as well.
Hey everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to type it and we'll try to get to you.
All right, so before we begin, we're just going to let you know about some quick ground rules that we set up for today's program. So you will be muted and your cameras will be turned off during this class. You will only be able to see the instructor's screen. At the top of the screen, you're going to be able to find an exit full screen option if you need to get to other things on your computer while the program's going. You are welcome to ask questions or request that the instructor repeat information at any time during today's program. You should see an icon at the bottom of your screen that says chat. You can click on that to open the chat window. The chat is going to be set to be seen by library staff only. And if you prefer, you can also use the Q&A feature located at the bottom of your screen to ask questions. Please note that any appropriate questions or comments will cause your immediate removal from today's class. We will be using the instructor's screen today to demonstrate and may share additional resources in the chat throughout as well. A recording of today's program will also be available in a few days on our YouTube channel. So if you would like to rewatch today's program and practice with the recording later, that is an option. And with those ground rules out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be providing a detailed overview of the Canva software for greeting card design. This will include some features of the website, its design tools, as well as a demonstration at the end. This website is available for free, and there's also an option for a paid premium subscription for more frequent users or if you're interested in certain features. And then for more information on how to use Canva, you can check out the Plano Public Library's YouTube channel for a recording of our Canva workshop series. All right. And then just another quick disclaimer before we get into the meat of the program. The instructors are not graphic design experts. Today's program's purpose is to provide a general overview of Canva, its features, and how it can be used to create greeting cards. And information in this program was accurate as of the time of this program. And then Sahar is going to drop some links in the chat to resources that you can access with your Plano Public Library card. So there'll be LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, which both have online classes and a variety of topics, and then a link to our website as well. And again, those are free if you have a Plano Public Library card. All right, so what is Canva? Canva is an online graphic design platform that can be used to create social media graphics, presentations, posters, documents, videos, and other visual content. There are templates, stock images, videos, and many other tools on Canva to help you achieve your branding and promotional goals. And Canva has been around since 2012 and over the years has been continuously updated. So they're always adding new features, and it's a very user-friendly platform. So it's especially good for people who aren't particularly design savvy or maybe don't have the time or desire to create content from scratch. And then Sahar is going to drop a link in the chat if she hasn't already to canva.com. So you can pull that up if you want to follow along while we're talking through the software. All right, how do I access Canva? Canva is an online platform, though they also have a desktop and mobile app available for download if you would prefer to do it that way. And you will need to make an account to use Canva. So like I mentioned, there are some different account types. There's like a basic free version. There's like a premium. There's like a, business, education, etc. And that information for those specific accounts is available on their website. So to sign up for an account, you can go to canva.com. You will at least need an email address. And then once you have your account made, you'll be able to choose the type of account you want. The free account, again, costs $0, but it also only has the basic features, and some of the extras require you to pay for them. So if you're just starting out, it might be a good idea to start with the free and kind of play around, get a feel for what you're wanting to do and what tools will be available to you with the free account. And then Canva Pro, which is like the unlimited access to their premium content, is generally for like a single user who wants more access, who wants access to more features like stock photo and video, lots of like graphic design tools, templates. They also have a thing called a brand kit, where you can kind of gather all your materials for branding into one place, and then special tools like the background remover and magic resize. And then Canva for Teams is going to be same thing, but for teams. So maybe like a workplace, you can have a main account plus 4 team members who will all have access to the same templates, designs, etc. And then if you're an educator or work in a nonprofit, there are also options to have more features without paying extra. You'll just have to go through a few extra steps to verify that status. So once you have your account set up, you can take a look around. For today's purposes and program, we're going to be using a free Canva account, but you will be able to see the free and premium features that are available for greeting card design. All right, any questions before I move on?
I'm not seeing any questions so far. There's someone from Teen Street Team, so we're getting that figured out, but you guys are good.
All right, perfect. Okay, and then so moving on to greeting card. What is a greeting card? I'm sure most of you know, but it's a decorated card with a message of good wishes sent or given to someone on a special occasion or just because. And Canva is a great tool to make greeting cards because they have some pre-designed templates, or you can make your own starting from scratch. And then greeting cards are generally categorized as either everyday or special occasions like birthdays, etc. And then making a greeting card, why should you make your own? It can be more personal for the receiver and for you as the giver to make your own greeting card. You can personalize it before you send it rather than having to like hand sign a card. And it's also a great skill to learn, especially if you're working on your graphic design, branding, or other crafty type skills of that nature. All right. And then some types of cards that you can make on Canva in the categories of everyday or special occasion. You could do a birthday card, farewell, congratulations, get well. The world is your oyster for any card you're wanting to make. All right. And then in terms of the message or kind of content of your greeting card, what should you include on your card? So you'll want to include some sort of like eye-catching graphic that lets you know immediately, like, what is this card for? Like who's receiving it, something like that. It could be like happy birthday with a picture of a birthday cake, so you immediately know this is a birthday card. And then you can customize it to your heart's content with graphics, fonts, images, thematic messages, and you can also leave space to handwrite a personal message if you want to print and give your card that way. Although with Canva, you can also send cards digitally, so it's your preference. And all right, now that we've done a brief overview of Canva and greeting cards in general, I'm going to pass it over to Meg for the demonstration on Canva.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. All right, can everyone see my screen and also hear me well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So now we're going to demonstrate how to use the Canva website to make some greeting cards. Feel free to follow along with me to create your own card at home. So right now, this is the main home screen. You'll see, for my page at least, we'll see recent designs because I'm already logged in. If you haven't visited the website before, or you're just not logged in on this device, then it'll prompt you to either create an account or log in. But right now I'm already logged in. So we have some of my recent designs. It'll give you a list of template options that you can click right away, or that search bar. And then on the left, there's going to be this ribbon menu that you can click. You can click these 3 lines up at the top left to give you more details on each section. So right now we're in the home screen. You can also visit all of your projects, templates, and more. So you have some options when creating a greeting card on Canva. For the first option, we can use a pre-made template. You can either use this search bar right here in the middle of the home screen, or you can click on the templates button on the left hand ribbon. So we're going to go ahead and click on that icon. And I'm going to collapse the menu just so we can see some more. It'll just generate some templates that are either popular or relevant. And you can also use the search bar up here to look for specific types of cards or graphics. So if you like a certain design, like let's say we like this one, we like the colors and the text, but we don't want a happy birthday card, we want a congratulations card, we can easily edit the card. So don't let the message deter you from using it, because you can customize it. Let's go ahead and edit this card. So once you click on it, you're going to find this customize this template button. It's this big purple button right here. And it'll take you to the design suite. So now we have the left-hand menu is going to look a little different. This will have the design elements of the card. And we have the card itself here. So I'm going to go ahead and first change this text right here to say congratulations. Now, let's say I want to use a different font. I have 2 options. I can either select that text and click up here where the font bar is. Clicking on the font will generate all of the different fonts that you have access to. One thing I do want to note, let me see if I'll be able to find it. Okay, so there will be some options whenever you're searching the templates or any of the elements. There will be some options that have this little yellow crown. That means that because you're on a free account, you won't be able to use that option because it is a Canva Pro or Canva Premium option. If you get the membership, you'll be able to use those features. So for now, we're just going to look for the options that don't have that crown. I am going to select this font here. That looks good to me. Let's say I want to change the color of the text. I can either go to this text icon on the left and change it there, or just change it from the top. So I'm going to highlight the whole text, and let's say I want it to be this pink, like the cake. When you're changing colors for any element of a card, say text or graphic or background color, you'll have a couple of themed colors. So something from the photos that are currently present, there will be some document colors, solid colors, or you can use this little eyedropper tool. So clicking on this, it'll say add a new color. And this will allow me to get the exact same color of something else that is currently on the card or on the screen in general. So I'm not a huge fan of this personally, so we'll change it back to white. You can also resize the font if you want. You can also move this graphic around. For some templates, some features of a card may be locked. It could be that someone uploaded an image that already had some graphics. So you can always just try clicking on it to see if this little box appears, and you can edit it from there. All right, so now we've used a template. The other option is to create a greeting card from scratch. So whether you're on the homepage or in the design suite, you can get to the create function by clicking on this little menu bar. You're going to find that purple circle with the plus sign that says create. So now I'm going to select that. Also, one thing to note before I leave, since I was working on this card, this little cloud up here is going to say all changes saved. If it's not saved, something else will be there. It might say currently saving or pending. But if it has that cloud with a check mark, that means it's already saved. This is where you can also change the title of your project. So once we finish creating our own card, I'll show you how to download your card and all of that good stuff. So now we're going to create a new card. Whenever you select create, this pop-up will show up on your screen with different templates. You could create a document from scratch just by typing in the dimensions, or you can use one of their pre-made templates. So for this program, we're going to look up folded card. I have a couple of options. So you might have noticed that when we were in the design suite earlier, there was a panel on the right side. You can still kind of see it now, where it shows a preview of what the physical card might look like. So if the template has an envelope behind it, that means that this is a card that you can print directly from Canva. It'll mass produce cards to, they have specific amounts, but it will be printed and shipped straight to your door. So that's the first option. The second option is going to be this digital card. It'll be just a card with the Canva C in the middle. That means it is a downloadable file. So you can either send an e-card or you can download it and print it through another printing service. So making your own card is a great way to express your creativity and always have a card ready for your friends and family. On top of personal use, you can even sell original cards that you've made as long as you follow Canva's content license agreement. So let's go ahead and create a card. I'm going to select folded card portrait for this program. And also hovering over it will give me the dimensions. So 10 by 7, which folded in half will give me a 5 by 7 card. Okay, now we have our card. The next step is to design the front of the card. So when looking at this, you can see on the right-hand side, the physical card is folded. The right-hand side of the page is going to be the front of the card. So we're going to work on this part of the card. For my card, I want the background to be a specific color. So I can go ahead and just select the whole project, hover over this background color button. And I'm going to go with a baby blue. Let's see. So I'm using that add new color button. I don't necessarily need to use the eyedropper. I could just find a color my own. We're going to go with that. Now we are going to look at elements. So earlier we mentioned that some elements will, some elements will be premium. So if I typed in flowers, the main difference between this and the text is that if I click on it, it will pop up, but there will be a watermark. So just something to keep in mind. I'm going to go ahead and look up bold foliage. And none of these have the crown, so these are all free to use. So I'm going to start adding some foliage to my card. Here I'm resizing the foliage. I can also rotate And there's also options to crop if you only want certain parts of the element. You can also flip it. So if I flip horizontally, it'll do that. Flipping vertically will do that. All right, so I'm just going to add a few more, play around with the editing tools to get things to my liking. And add another one of these. Another thing to note, if you are on the option where there was an envelope in the back where you can print the card out, it'll give you this little pop-up that says danger zone. That means that if you plan on printing this card straight through Canva, there is a possibility that whatever part of the element is in the danger zone is going to be cropped. So just something to keep in mind. If this is something you're downloading to your computer, it's not as big of a deal. Okay, so I can also duplicate elements. So either right clicking or Control C, Control V. There is also the shortcut of Control D, which will just duplicate. That will allow me to copy that element. You can also change the colors for certain elements. For this one, it looks like you can customize this color. So I can do that. I'll go ahead and go back to that original color. Here we go. Okay, another part of elements that is important is grouping and locking. So let's say that you have, I'm happy with where these elements are and I don't want them, I like the spacing of them, I don't want them to move apart. I can select all three. I just clicked down and dragged, or you can also click them one by one while holding Shift. This will give me the option to group them together. So now whenever I click on any of them, it'll move all three at the same time. I can also lock it into place. This means that if I'm happy with where the placement is on the page and I don't want it to budge at all, locking it will prevent me from moving it. And you can also reverse these decisions by just selecting unlock or ungroup. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add some text to this card. So I selected text, add a text box, and I'm going to go ahead and just move it to the right-hand side. And I'm going to say, good luck on your next adventure. All right, so I think we can find a cuter font. So let's go ahead and look at our options. One thing I wanted to bring up, when you click on the either text option, either up here or on the left-hand side, it'll sometimes give you some font combinations or fun multicolor variations of fonts. Those are there for you to use so long as they don't have the crown. So these on the left-hand side are free. Or
Okay.
you can,
Sorry, there's a question.
no worries, what's up?
So a patron's asking if I made a card like you're making right now with all the free elements, am I able to sell it on a website such as Etsy or not due to copyright?
So as long as none of the elements on the card have a watermark or are licensed. So right now, the bare bones card that we have right now, I would be able to sell this because these are free to use. And the text is a free font. I think I'm not 100% well versed in the license agreement, so I would recommend reviewing the Canva license agreement on your own just to be sure about what the rules are as far as selling your cards, because right now we would be able to because we have the option to print directly from Canva. So yes, I would recommend going to the license agreement before making any decisions to sell your own cards.
Yes, and just also we're not like professionals on the subject or anything
Yes.
like that too. So definitely would put more research into that before making that decision for yourself.
Yes. Were there
Cool.
any other questions?
Uh, Okay, another person's asking, can I load an image to be included onto the card?
Yes, you can. So what you can do is go to either elements, I believe. All right, actually, we're going to go to uploads. So on the left-hand side, there's going to be an uploads button. You can upload a file. So if you drew your own graphic and you want to upload it, you can. You can just find the item on your computer files and you would be able to use it. You can also resize it. As far as coloring goes, like coloring the flowers in like we did earlier, you wouldn't be able to do that. You could edit the, let's see if it will let me. Here, so this edit button, if I go to the element and select edit, you could use these filters to edit the graphic that you are uploading. But yes. All right, any other questions?
Not anymore right now. So
Okay.
it should be good. Thank you.
All right, no problem. So let's go back to this text here. I'm going to go ahead and select a font. Let's go with Fredoka. So right now it's just a flat line, which is okay. If that's what you want, then feel free to use that. There are other effects that you can use on the text. So up here, if you select the text, you'll get this bar up here. You can do your basic underline, strike through, realigning the text. You can also change the letter spacing if you have multiple lines. Let's say I did that. Changing the letter spacing will change the horizontal spacing, and the line spacing will change the space between each line. You can also change the transparency up here. And now I'm going to click on effects. So here we have a couple of options. If we do hollow, it will make the inside of the letters hollow. And you can also change the thickness. Another feature is curve here. So you can change the degree to which this is curved. There we go. So this, changing this will affect how steep the curve is. You can also go the opposite way and curve it that way. Let's say I wanted to make my text look kind of like an oval. I'm going to go ahead and just copy this and delete it from this particular text box. Add a new one. Actually, here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate this and then replace it with my text. There we go. So I'm going to go back to curve, change that curve to be 48, and then make this one negative 48. So now it looks like this. I can add another bold foliage in the center of one. And I'm pretty happy with that. So that's the front of the card. Now we're going to design the inside of the card. To do that, we're going to click on Add Page. And again, we're going to work on the right-hand side of the card for the inside. That's for a traditional card. Usually when you open up a greeting card, the text is going to be on the right-hand side. This is going to be your card though, so feel free to make the card to your preferences. So we're gonna do some more elements similar to the front. I'm going to find another plant. I'm gonna go with this one here. So I can change the colors like I did earlier. Clicking on those. That looks good to me. And then we're going to add text. So I can click on the text icon, add a text box, and it's already in the font that I had earlier, so I don't have to change anything. Just going to resize and move real quick. And let's say we're rooting for you. And you can leave the rest of the card empty in case you want other people to sign the card, or if you just like how that looks. That is the card. Before we move forward, we can look at the preview of the card. So on that right-hand side, I'm clicking on here to see. Oh, it should save the second page. There we go. Okay, so if this is for the option where you are printing from Canva, the outside is going to be page 1. For inside, I'm going to select page 2, and now we can preview. So I'm going to expand this window to see what the physical card would look like. So that's the front of the card, and that shows both sides. From here, you have a couple of options. You can click on this share button up at the top right, and we can download the card to your computer. PNG is usually going to be the default. This says it's best for complex images and illustrations. JPEG is another one good for sharing. It'll ask you about size. These have crowns, so those are premium features. And it'll ask if you want to save all pages. So that looks good to me. We're going to hit download, and now it's been downloaded to my computer. You can also print with Canva. And if you are sending an e-card, you can do that here. You can share with other people so long as you have their email account or email address. All right, so that was the demonstration for creating your card from scratch. Were there any questions? Okay. No questions? All right. I will go ahead
Okay.
and
It looks like someone just said yes. Sophia, go ahead and type out your question, and then we'll have the instructors go ahead and answer that for you.
while they type out their question, I wanted to show, I forgot to mention, you can animate your card if you're sending an e-card. So let's select this element here. I'm going to click animate up here. And there are a couple of options for, let's see, rotate, wiggle. There, we'll go with pulse for this one. You can also add animations to the text as well.
Oh, and actually, while you're there, Sophia is asking, can you show one more time how you folded good luck on your adventure to look like a curve? So how you curve them.
Yes. So I'll just go ahead and move these, or actually here, I'll just keep them there. So it'll be under effects. So just make sure you've selected the element you are curving or the piece of text you're curving. I'm going to go ahead and remove the curve by just going to 0. So this is just if you typed text into a text box, the default is going to be no curve. You'll go to effects, scroll down to curve, and this is where you'll see the slider. it'll give you that circle so you can kind of see where the curve follows. So let's say I want this piece of text at 46 and I want the other one to curve kind of to show that it's kind of like an oval or a circle. I'm going to go ahead and delete this to just walk through that. So I'm going to duplicate this by hitting Control D. I'm going to go ahead and type the other part of the message. And then we're going to go to effects. And you can either use the slider, the little plus and minus signs, or you can type the minus symbol to give the negative, and it'll just give you the inverse curve of the first piece of text. Were there any other questions?
Yeah, so and I'm trying to answer it through text, sorry. So someone was asking if the links will be provided in the YouTube when it's posted. I believe they'll be able to see the chat, like the webinar chat links, but they won't be able to, like it won't be in the description of the YouTube.
Yes.
Does that sound correct?
I believe so.
She's saying once, okay, different question. Once you download, can I print it on my own?
Yes. So let's say you just want to print a personal card, a one-off card for a friend. You would, so once you've downloaded it, it's saved to your computer. You can print the file directly, or if you want to, you can also open up a Word document. So let's say you're printing on a printer that only has standard printer paper 8.5 by 11 inches. You can go into a Word document and resize the card just to make sure it's to your liking. And once you've printed it out, you can trim the card if you'd like, get rid of any excess paper. And yeah. Any questions before we move on to the next part?
I'm not seeing any more questions. I'll let you know if that changes though. Thank you.
All right, yeah. So now we are going to go into additional resources for learning how to use Canva. So directly on the Canva website, there is a resource called Canva Design School. So from the design suite or the homepage, I'm just going to click open menu. Down here is going to be your little profile button. If you click on that, you should be able to hover over the help and resources menu, that little eye icon, and design school with the badge icon. If you click on that, it'll take you to Canva's free design school. So let's see. The latest and greatest, it'll give you just a couple of recommended courses. They range from a couple minutes all the way up to an hour. And they have even more classes. So if you're just getting started, they have beginner courses. They have grow your brand. If you're using Canva for entrepreneurial purposes, you can also teach and learn, all that good stuff. So you can explore on Canva Design School. This is completely free. You don't need a Canva Pro to access the design school. All right, so with that, we'll go back to the presentation to look at some more additional resources for you. All right, can everyone see? Oh, let me go to page, let me just skim through real quick to page 11. Okay, so we talked about Canva Design School. With your library card, you can access LinkedIn Learning as well as Udemy or Udemy. These have in-depth courses on how to use Canva for varying skill sets or skill levels. Again, you would need a Plano library card to access those too. There's also YouTube. So with the Plano Public Library YouTube channel, we have recorded this program along with other virtual programs. There are other programs within the Canvas series, such as branding and other uses for Canva you can find on the Plano Public Library YouTube channel. Before we wrap up, we have some upcoming programs that you can check out. These are some of the art and business related programs in September and October. Some are virtual and some are in person, and they're marked there. So feel free to take a picture of the screen, save it for later. We also have many more programs available on our online calendar at planolibrary.org. So I'll give everyone a second to take note of this page. Okay, so are there any questions?
I'm not seeing any questions. Maybe we'll give it another minute or two. Just go ahead and type out your last questions.
Sure.
I am not seeing anything.
Okay, well, if you do ever have any questions, feel free to contact any of the Plano Public Library locations. Thank you so much for joining us today for Canva greeting cards. Have a great rest of your night.